Hello, hello. Welcome to the race.
Hello, Llama.
Web.
It's good to talk to you.
Yes.
I am very eager to get this race underway. It's eryngobragh versus marcmagus.
Gonna be great.
First round.
Amazing. Aaron had a question. Well, of course. Last minute question.
Yep. And so cool. We will be started momentarily. This is very exciting. First round of the Timespinner Randomizer race. This was something that we ended up getting 14 entrants for, which was a great number.
Real cool. We had 16 at one point, which was perfect, but then stuff happened, life happened, We're waiting just 1 minute longer so that we don't skip out on anyone. Hello, Ducky. Hello, Luna Ray Games. Hello, T-Bass, Lily, Mikey. Anyone I missed? So, Web, how about your race earlier?
It was
That
something.
was cool.
It was really cool. It could have been a lot worse, I guess I'll say.
All right. They are starting up.
All right.
We'll start commentating as soon as the restream catches up. See how far behind it actually it is.
Looks like it's about 40 seconds behind, so we'll be getting ready to give you the play-by-play whenever the screen switch to the game.
Mm-hmm. Soon. Soon.
Coming.
Soon.
Almost.
Just a second. More. Sure we're not being pranked?
No, we're good, I think.
There it goes. There's
right.
Mark's. Mark has a better countdown for us.
Oh, yeah.
And here we go.
All right. Looks like
Oh.
Gun orb start. Oh boy.
Oh great. So gun is not too bad, sort of, but a lot of people hate it. But let's just do a very brief intro to the game for those of you joining us. This is Timespinner, a little Metroidvania made by Luna Ray Games, who is in the chat. Welcome. It's a real cool little Metroidvania. Nice to pick up if you're unfamiliar with Metroidvanias. And it has a cool randomizer. You do need the PC version to play the randomizer, but it's all worth it, and the randomizer is real cool. They have
so let's talk about Gun Orb and Chaos Blades, the starting equipment for our runners. So Gun Orb is a high damage,
high range.
A high damage orb, but it has some downsides.
High range.
The range is long, but it has a minimum range, so you can't hit anything that's like right next to you.
Like, yeah, you might have seen Mark there miss a few shots right in front of him.
Yeah, so that is sharp damage, sharp type. In Timespinner, there are varying types of damage that you can have. You have fire, you have radiant, you have sharp, and you have blunt, among others. And Gun Orb is like a long range, sharp type damage. And the reason that's important is because they also got Chaos Blades, which is another sharp type damage. So they really don't have any way to vary their damage output, and it just so happens that basically everything in this starting area is strong against sharp type damage. So you'll see them maybe taking a little bit longer than you think they should have to in order to kill some of these early enemies, but that's just how the rando gods decided to give them.
Yep, it just sometimes happens. I saw Mark pick up the V key card, which will come in handy later if we find the tablet, because there's several different flags you can have on this randomizer, and one of them is downloadable items. which requires you to get the tablet, but then there are downloads in the game that normally just gives you lore bits, but in the rando, you can get items from it. And the V key card has 3 of those. Real rough start. Nothing good picking up otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, both of the runners are probably waiting for a new orb. They don't want to sit on gun for very long.
No. And the seed is just not giving them anything.
Yep.
So endgame in the randomizer is to try and get to the true ending. And to do that, they need quite a few things. In this particular flag set, we need the 5 Timespinner pieces. We need the
That's the name of the game.
Yeah. Thanks for the commentary. I'm so glad I'm working with you. The B key card. We also need the C key, the D key card, because we're using specific key cards, and to get out of the library, you need the D key card.
Yeah, so there are varying ways to get to the end game. The D key card and the B key card is the easiest. You can also get the D key card and the elevator key card. But you still have to find the B key card after you get past the first B key card door if you want to actually continue to the end game.
Yeah. Don't you need the D key card to get out of the out of the library?
I said D key card and elevator key card, didn't I?
Oh, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Never mind. Ignore me. So Mark here is on Boots. I'm gonna switch over to his audio.
Okay. It's the first boss, almost always in this kind of randomizer. And it is the first boss in vanilla, and it's notable because, as such, there's no reason for it to have any kind of damage type weaknesses or strengths, because at the time you fight it, you only have 1 orb anyway. So there's kind of no cheese to this boss. You just kind of have to grind out the damage. What a lot of runners will do is maybe kill an extra couple of enemies in the early going to gain a level. On certain orbs, gaining 1 level can double the damage because it's doing 2 instead of 1 damage.
Yep.
So there's varying strategies that you can do. But most of the time, you know, we have a slow weapon like gun. It's just kind of a grind.
Mm-hmm. Boots is on his desperation attack on Mark's screen. He did 2 swipes at Mark, and desperation attacks happen when they're at half health, so there you go. Boots is a strong boy. He's also called Boots because the cat who voices him was named Boots. Rest in peace, little guy.
Mark just got the Shadow Seal. The
Awesome.
Shadow Seal is one of the real good rings in this game. Ring is the 3rd kind of equipment that goes along with orbs in this. And you have an orb, a spell, and a ring. And what the Shadow Seal does is it increases the amount of damage you do, the less HP you have. So it's very nice to have, especially early when you're taking a lot of damage, because it allows you to just really ramp up the damage on things, do some one-shotting of enemies that would take 3 or 4 punches otherwise.
It's super broken. It's late game and just, yeah, scales immensely what your damage does. You'll see. Got the Gilded Egg. That's good for selling.
Yes.
Because it costs a lot to actually buy in vanilla. So, yeah, when you have the randomizer and you don't need it, you're just gonna sell it or equip it. Apparently,
or equip it. What the Gilded Egg does is it makes your.
Oh my god!
I'll try and finish my sentence real quick.
Okay, finish your sentence.
What the Gilded Egg does is it increases the experience gained by your familiar. Right now, and pretty much for the rest of the seed, the familiar that they're going to be using is this little dragon called Mayef.
Mayef is adorable. Best kitty.
But that librarian item was Jin Inferno, which is, you know, looking at everything equally, is the single most powerful spell in the game.
And that would still be true even if it wasn't broken.
There's a minor glitch. There's a minor glitch to deal with Jin Inferno where, as long as you have enough aura to cast it twice, aura is like the mana or the MP in this game, then you can actually, with a little bit of easy timing, cast it infinitely without running out of aura.
Oh, cool. You got a key card. Oh no. Oh, twin pyramid keys. We're good. We're
Okay,
good.
yes.
The
So,
A key card opens up a real nasty area that hopefully they do not have to go into until later. But the twin pyramid keys opens up a lot of real cool stuff.
like time travel.
Yep. So Timespinner has two time zones you can travel between. And the pyramid keys in the randomizer will open up a random one of these warp locations. It is important to use the warps at least once when you first pick up the pyramid keys. Otherwise, the item that returns you to the last used warp won't work.
Right.
So many of us have climbed all the way to the end of a tower only to realize we have not used these warp shards.
So here you just saw the Merchant Crow, aka the one you go talk to if you want to buy warp shards, which are those items that return you to your most recently used portal. And it looks like their past portal, when they unlock it, is the Castle Ramparts, which is pretty friendly. It's kind of...
It's a little rough.
It's a little rough if you aren't ready to fight some of these stronger opponents. It's a little bit deeper into the game, and as you can see, requires a little bit of movement tech to get this weird chest that's under the bridge, where you don't want to waste a lot of time getting it until you don't get it and it has something very important.
Yeah, never skip checks. Looks like Mark is going somewhere else, though, first.
Yeah, it looks like he's not wanting to go to the castle. I would say this is a reasonable move. You can't really get far into the castle, as far into the castle as you need, until you get something like double jump or other kind of vertical progression.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get all the way into the castle and you don't have that vertical progression, it is unfortunately a long walk between that and the most recent portal. So even if you do have the pyramid keys, you're going to have to do a lot of backtracking to get back to where you were.
Mm-hmm. Erin is cleaning out the library. She's up in the backer room, therefore named after Kickstarter backers. Timespinner was in a very successful Kickstarter, and we greatly appreciate everyone who made this game come to life.
So yeah, you may have seen Erin actually, instead of equipping the Gilded Egg, sold the Gilded Egg. She'll have all the money she needs, and then some for the rest of the seed. I didn't catch if she bought anything that wasn't warp shards. I think she probably bought some potions.
I can imagine that she cleaned out the crow of biscuits.
Yes.
This one does not have potions.
Oh, you're right.
The one in the past does. There are two merchant crows, one of which has potions. And it was not that one.
It looks like Mark is dipping the caves here. These caves require water mask to swim into the water, but there are a couple of treasure chests that you can grab while you're here.
There's also, at the very end, a free warp back to a different location, as we'll see right here, where Rameda just kind of teleports you all the way here. I'm not sure why he needed your help to get back here, since he can clearly teleport.
And you get a free item from your canon girlfriend.
Wind orb. Gee, thanks, Nell. I'll treasure it forever. Thanks. Silently put it in your pocket and then never use it again.
According to Krimdal, she bought biscuits but not warp shards.
Oh, Erin.
And Mark just picked up the water mask, speaking of.
Very good.
So,
the water mask is how you get into the water. Yeah.
One of the 3 bosses that you have to get, that you have to beat in order to kind of trigger the end game of this game is underwater and requires the water mask.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the Empire Orb.
Good. He's
Mark.
Not going to equip any other orb.
No, he's probably done equipping orbs for the rest of this spells and orbs, maybe.
Oh, looks like Erin is going into the castle.
Okay, so we have a routing divergence. If
you never
see
know
double jump or celestial sash here, it could be huge.
You never know whether or not these divergences are actually going to pay off.
She will not be getting the Empire Orb until later, unfortunately. So she might be stuck with this gun orb for a while.
At least it does pierce the shields of these shield knights.
It's true.
Which is real cool.
It would be nice if they were also weak to sharp, but unfortunately they are not.
You can't have everything.
Yeah.
Briefly, I need to let everyone know that Mayef's voice actor has joined us and has tracked my arm. Hello, sweetie. Luckily, I don't need my arm to commentate at all. Hi, sweetie.
So interestingly enough, Mark is swimming around here in the Lake Serene checks and just picked up security key card B.
Ooh.
Which is important.
Mm-hmm.
But it is also important to know that Erin will also be doing all of these things that Mark has been doing, just later.
Yes. Because she has to go that way. Unless she decides to skip that underwater section, because you can. I'm not sure why anyone would, but you can.
It is a thing that you can do.
And here we have a decision split. You can go up along the top of Lake Serene, or you can go along the water. Mark and Erin both have a fire source, which is something that you need along the top for unlocking some certain things. And they also have Water Mask and the horizontal dash.
Oof.
So I could see, oh, Erin.
Erin taking a death there, an arrow to the face.
At least she had a fairly close save.
Yeah, the save wasn't that far from where she died, and that's just kind of the thing with if you don't like the gun orb and you're not really used to the gun orb, you know, you shoot and you expect it to do a lot more damage than it actually does, and
you get too close, and then stuff happens.
And then you get shot in the face with an arrow, which ironically does a lot more damage than the gun.
Linnaeus is just a real bad shot. But as we were saying, you could choose either direction with Upper Lake Serene and Lower Lake Serene. I think there are more checks on Lower Lake Serene, and it is a bit more of a direct route to one of the bosses that you need. The Maw.
Yes, the other part of that is that, as you were saying, if you have a fire source, you can burn vines.
Mm-hmm.
And those vines, once they're burned in the past, create a path in the future to get other items that open up. So it's kind of like, what do you want to do now versus what do you want to maybe do later? And it's kind of one of those 50-50 shots where you're like, well, I could kind of invest in the future by burning these vines now. It looks like Mark is doing...
Lily has a point here. We missed that there is absolutely no verticality on either of these runners. So Mark couldn't get to Upper Lake Serene from that end.
Oh, good call.
But you can loop around, like I think Mark is doing right now.
Yeah, Mark is doing that right now. He will be burning the vines from the left instead of the right. But my guess
after taking out...
going to go this boss here. Yeah.
Over to the left here is an optional boss, the Azure Queen. But she's also guarding a vine location and another 2 checks.
So one of the benefits that Erin is going to get by continuing right into the castle, is that the enemies here give a lot more experience than the enemies on the left. So she might leave this part of the dungeon with a higher level, which will involve higher defense and higher damage output. And just really, she just needs another orb that isn't gun orb.
Yep. I'm not sure how many levels are equivalent to Empire Orb.
Too many. Not enough to properly... Yeah, that's rough. And that's gun orb for you. If you're just not used to gun orb, then that's just what happens. Erin did kind of just save.
Yeah, it's just real rough.
But you see, I mean, Mark was fighting that Azure Queen for quite a bit. If you come in with a little bit higher level, that fight takes no time at all.
Yep. Oh, we got a raid. Welcome, everyone. From SpeedGaming 3.
What was the game going on SpeedGaming 3?
Not sure.
Welcome, SpeedGaming 3 Raiders.
Someone will tell us, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, I'm sure it was real cool. And Aaron here is wisely deciding, double jump!
My goodness.
Oh,
That is
real
the
good.
succubus hairpin, which gives you a double jump, which is the verticality you need to actually complete almost the entire tower.
Yeah. We need either... No, actually. You can get up there without time stop, because she's got horizontal dash.
That is true,
Did
but there will be orphaned checks.
Okay. Okay.
Well, she was saving. She didn't want to lose that. She didn't want to lose that succubus hairpin.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Is that the first piece of armor?
Maybe.
Oh, and there's
eye
eye orb for Erin. She is probably jumping in her seat. She finally gets to unequip the gun.
No more guns. Guns are bad.
Oh, Mark found the lab coat. Lab coat is
real good.
A real good armor. It doesn't do a lot of defense, but it boosts attack, and that's what matters.
Mm-hmm.
Now you see this eye orb. It is an eyeball, a fleshy eyeball that has a bunch of blades coming out of it. Totally normal.
It's still sharp, which is a bit annoying. We've just got nothing but sharp here.
And Mark is still not going to the castle to get his double jump.
You didn't know that.
Well, he could have taken a closer portal if he was.
Yeah.
Oh, he has the water mask. He's checking the lake.
Makes sense. Probably because he remembers that your run.
Yes. Yeah, there is stuff here that he hasn't checked yet, so he's just taking that opportunity to...
Aaron. No. That hurts. She's low level.
Yep. That's like you get the higher experience, but you also take more damage because the enemies are just stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron's wising up to just skipping the enemies.
Except the ones that are weak to sharp.
Yeah, most of the experience that you get in this is going to be kind of from bosses or incidental as you pass through areas. So you don't want to waste too much time killing too many enemies that are just kind of walking along the ground minding their own business.
Mm-hmm. Usually you want to dodge everything, and with the horizontal dash, which these flags start with, you can easily dodge a lot of things. Ooh, gas mask. Usually not important, but we will point it out if it does become important.
Now Mark's on his way to the castle.
Yeah. Briefly, though, I wanted to point out, you may have noticed there on the map with Aaron, there is a built-in item tracker for this randomizer, for those of you unfamiliar with it. It's real cool. You just bring up the map and hold attack, and the rooms highlighted in orange are places that might have a item for you. Not a guaranteed progression, but it's got something.
So it looks like Aaron is going to be the first to get to our first strictly required boss of the seed.
She doesn't have very good typage for it.
Well, I mean, if she can just Jin Inferno it to death, that's good enough for most people.
And there's a save right outside, so it's like, why not? This boss coming up is officially called the Golden Idol, but we call it the Twins because there's the twins.
And the first phase is weak to sharp, I guess, so that's good.
And fire, yeah.
So what we need to see here, Erin bought all those biscuits. She does kind of need to start using them. She has enough money to buy more of them if she needs to.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can see, as she starts taking damage here, she will start doing a lot more damage, which with each of those hits from the eye orb.
And then here's the second phase of the Golden Idol.
And she doesn't have enough aura to Jin Inferno glitch, which is unfortunate.
Rest in peace.
So she's got to, she's got to hit this Golden Idol with sharp type damage, which it is actually not only not weak against, it is strong against the sharp type damage.
Switch over to her audio, because we'll have a bit of different audio. The boss music. Oh, there's Mark's got the double jump.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a bit of a rough fight, especially if you maybe aren't as practice on the Inferno glitch. It's very easy to do, but it's also very easy to just sort of lose that pattern, and then you can't do it anymore at these low levels because you don't have enough magic to try again.
Right. Jin Inferno is very powerful, but it takes a really solid chunk of your aura.
Lily has a point. Eryn does not have Shadow Seal on.
Oh, I thought she did, because she started
Does not.
doing like 5 and 6 damage to one of the
It does not look like it.
Royal Guards.
Well, let's see if she does more than 3. Nope.
It does not look like she does have Shadow Seal on. Alright, so here's a Desperation attack for the Golden Idol. It's just, you know, a little buzzsaw that just comes out of the ground.
It's fine. It's fine. Just get off the ground. You're fine.
Yeah, you see how she's doing 2 now after she healed? I think she does have the Shadow Seal on. It just doesn't look like it because Sharp is just not effective against this boss at all.
Oh yeah, there's the numbers. I see them. Yep. We all noticed it at the same time.
Yep.
It's just that this is just real bad typage. And now that he's at half health, the boss is going to do that buzzsaw attack as much as he wants.
Yeah, Eryn's just pouring on the Jin Inferno whenever she finds the aura to do so. And there's a back-to-back buzzsaw. Just not what you want to see.
No, because you can't damage the boss at that point. You may have noticed the little puppets downstairs can take damage, but they have their own health pools, which have no impact on the total boss health, and they eventually regenerate. Oh, and Mark is back at the first phase. Oof. The Empire Orb is doing him loads of favors.
Yep, and there he is. There's the
glitch.
Infinite Aura glitch where he's just casting Jin Inferno over and over and over again.
Oh, 26 every time? Man.
Yeah, 26 every time is a lot.
It's more than 4.
And he does have the Shadow Seal on, so as he takes damage, it's going to keep going up.
Already at the Desperation attack. Eryn just doesn't have that many options. Yep.
Yeah, as you see Mark finish the idol.
And that just goes to show how overpowered Empire Orb is. It is a late game item, you know.
And there, Eryn got it.
There we go.
Mark taking the Warp Shard approach. He actually took the strategy of going and getting this portal and then backtracking to go to the idol. So when he beats the idol, he can just Warp Shard to this. But he is dipping out of...
Go to the Maw.
He's going to the Maw.
Interesting. Maybe hoping for a bit more verticality, because there are those checks that you have to miss with this current loadout.
This is true. He doesn't want to orphan any checks.
Because that's how you guarantee that you missed something important.
Absolutely.
You know, the seed knows.
Oh
it
yeah,
can tell,
absolutely.
And then it moves something there.
But yeah, so it looks like Eryn is going to the second required boss, which, you know, depending on your outlook, you do the required
she might be
thing.
leaving.
Oh, she's rethinking it, it looks like.
Because there's a lot of stuff she can't reach right now.
Yeah, and she might want to go back to the store to purchase some warp shards, but she still doesn't... I don't think she realizes she doesn't...
It's like she can't hear us.
She's coming here to get the checks that were missed because of no double jump. Which I believe Mark already got these checks.
I'm not sure. I wasn't paying too much attention.
Yeah, he had the Maw portal, so he came down this way. Oh no, he didn't have the. He didn't have this. Okay, so she's gonna check the present version of the checks that that Mark did, She's going to get this late game area
Item here.
We'll see what it is. It's just a buckle hat.
It's not better than lab glasses. Well, depending on if you want more defense.
Lab glasses, I think, provide 0 defense.
Yeah. I mean, why would they? They're glasses!
They're glasses. They should provide negative defense. They shatter and get in your eye. It's real gory.
Yeah. They're not safety goggles.
And Jackpot Room is what we call that row of 4 quick checks. Had a whole bunch of nothing.
A whole bunch of garbage.
So far, nothing spicy. Unless I missed it, nothing spicy out of this Maw Caves, but it is required. You do get Radiant Orb out of that chest that I don't believe Mark did.
Radiant Orb is pretty good. It's real good against the final boss, who is weak to Radiant. It's also pretty good against a few other bosses. And if you are willing to learn the glitch, not really a glitch, because it was sort of intended by the developer, but he also didn't think that you would actually do it, but you can switch between 2 different sets to get around how slow Radiant is.
Yes, that's the thing, is Radiant is another powerful but slow item. Another part of it is it's omnidirectional. You don't really have to have it in front of you. It kind of centers around the protagonist, Lunaeus, and goes in all directions. So it's good for when you're like surrounded by enemies, or enemies are going to be dropping down on top of you. But we do see Mark go into the
hardest boss. The hardest boss in the game.
Well, he doesn't have the wheel.
But he has Shadow Seal.
He does have Shadow Seal. So this will be the second required boss. It's called the Maw. It is just a big mouth.
Let's go to the Maw.
Today.
Is it just not doing anything? Okay.
Yeah.
It was thinking about something.
Well, I think what it was doing is it was putting out the little blades, but the Jin Inferno was just killing them as soon as they left.
Mm-hmm. And there's the Maw. It does have a lot of cool attacks. It's just, we make a joke about it because there is a perfect spot where you can mostly get unhit by all of the attacks if you have time stop, right up in his face. But,
it's also interesting because it's the only boss, except for the final boss, that doesn't give you an item when you beat it.
What about the Azure Queen?
Oh yeah, yeah, you're right. There's the chest right behind Azure Queen that I just associate with the item that you get from Azure Queen.
Yeah, I guess she gives you blocking an item, I guess.
Yeah.
Because you could say that the stuff in the Temporal Gyre also blocks items, but they don't really give you an item.
Right.
But they do block items. I'll give it to you.
Whereas the Maw, you can skip it entirely and get the item that is quote behind it, end quote, but it's required that you beat the Maw.
Mm-hmm. In the future, present, the other timeline, there's a set of 3 lasers that only go away once you have defeated all 3 bosses that are required. That is Aelana, the twins, and the Maw. Aelana is at the top of the castle tower. We haven't seen her yet.
Yep, Mark's going in and clearing out these caves checks that he abandoned because he came here without the water mask.
Mm-hmm.
But a reasonable play because of the teleport back to the town. And there's our first gear, I think.
Wow. 30 minutes in.
That's the Timespinner Gear 1. It is one of the 5 pieces of the Timespinner that you need in order to enter the true end game. So they're looking for 3 gears, a Timespinner wheel, and the Timespinner spindle, which are like all the pieces you need to power a time machine that lets you go back temporally and spatially wherever you want.
Mm-hmm. And go punch someone in the past.
Yes.
Which then breaks time, but we'll get to that.
We'll get to that when we get to it. Erin going back and... Oh, does she not have the water mask?
No, not yet.
Oh.
No. She's doing the same thing Mark did. Using the free warp, and then she'll get the water mask back at the NPC
she'll get it very shortly. Yeah.
because it's right here, and she's
All
probably
right,
going to be
so-
real mad about it.
Now Mark is in the Royal Towers, which is the location of the third required boss that is in the past. It also is the second of two kind of tricky jumps that
He's
are
gonna have
potentially...
to do the. He's gonna have to remember that he needs to do the trickier version. Yeah, he realized it.
He's like, oh wait, I can't make that jump.
You
I
have to do the
this.
technicality here. Oh,
Yeah,
first
there you
try. Never mind. That's a little harder to do than it looks.
Yeah, and it's the easier of the two jumps, but it is the harder. It is still pretty difficult if you're not practiced with it. And there's Erin finally getting her Empire Orb.
There we go. All is right in the world. Have to abandon that check on the right. We don't have time stop for Mark or any other more verticality, so you can't do anything with that right-hand guy.
Oh, she's buying warp. Mark's buying more warp shards now.
Warp shards.
He can only buy 5 before, so he's just restocking.
Mm-hmm. Generally, if you're near the Merchant Crow and you don't have a full stack, it's usually a good idea to get some, just so you don't have to double back when you're doing cleanup.
So Mark did just pick up the Valetian crown, which is a crown that it doesn't specifically tell you in the game, but what it actually does...
It's in the flavor text!
It's in the flavor text, though.
It's in the flavor text! It's there!
But it actually more quickly over time recovers your aura, which allows you to cast spells more frequently.
It says that it enhances your aura or something. Same with the one that says it enhances your dominion over time. It gives you a slight boost to your sand. Which is what you need to stop time, which we have not seen yet.
Nope. The core driving mechanic of the video game.
Time! Nope.
Yeah, 31 minutes in and they just got their first gear. That is... pretty rough.
What is with these seeds?
I don't know.
I heard about Lily's seed and how it took over an hour for her and Batty. It's just that's rough, man.
These seeds have been rough. And so this is the Alana fight. She is kind of tricky. She does a lot of damage, especially if you're under geared, which our players right now are really, in terms of armor, they don't have a lot. They have lab equipment, which doesn't really provide defense. But she is weak to Empire Orb, and when you're weak to the strongest weapon in the game...
That horizontal laser is her desperation.
Yeah.
As you can see, doing 57 per hit. Yep, there she's dead.
Yeah, it doesn't take long, like I said. When you're weak to the strongest weapon in the game... Oh, and there's the tablet.
Ooh. Having to abandon quite a few checks here because they still don't have verticality.
Yeah,
other than double jump.
There is where you just saw Mark get the tablet. There actually is another item above that room that you can only get if you've got one more extra bit of verticality that a double jump doesn't get you.
Alright. Gotta abandon those checks. Erin going through the water here. Probably heading towards the Maw. But now that Mark has defeated all 3 bosses, and
he does not have the D card.
Does not have the D card though.
But he does have the tablet, which
So
allows you to download
downloads.
items from these computers.
You wouldn't download a car, would you? Yes, I would.
You wouldn't download a time machine.
Yes, I would. 3D print it. Oh, light wall.
Well, there's your verticality.
So
It's
light
not
wall.
the one you want.
Technically.
Oh.
Here. Okay then.
The second Timespinner gear was downloadable as well.
All right. Light wall is technically as much verticality as you need because you can keep casting the light wall, jumping on it, jumping on it if you have enough mana. it just takes forever. And so what they're really looking for is the Celestial Sash, which just lets you fly.
Vertically only.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. This is where the gas mask might be important.
Yes.
See how this entry area is covered in a dense fog.
So that happened when you killed the maw, and it means that if you come here without the gas mask, you slowly lose oxygen, and then very rapidly lose health once you've run out of oxygen. You can make it to one room on Upper Lake Selene, or the Upper Lake Desolation that is full of air for some reason. One of the caves is just fine, but it's a mad dash to it.
Yep, Mark is picking up the skeleton check here. Just got his radiant orb. Let's see if he wants to dip into the Zarian caves. He's thinking about it.
He's thinking.
He's thinking about it.
No. that moment of hesitation. I saw
that
it.
door that he was just looking at is openable by the A key card that both of our runners got incredibly early in the seed. So he was probably thinking, you get it that early. Sometimes in a randomizer, you just want to follow the items that the seed gives you.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes you just don't want to go to Zarian.
Right. And
most
right
times
now,
you don't.
Mark's looking at his tracker and he's seeing 2 of the 5 Timespinner pieces.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, man, I probably am going to have to come back here anyway. He's in the area. It's a lot of experience. It'll give him a jump up on basically everything else that he's going to need to fight in this seed. As Eryn takes care of the Azure Queen pretty quickly. As I said before, a little bit higher level makes that fight go incredibly fast.
And there is a warp right before Zarian, so if they want to nope out of it...
Oh!
Oh!
There's the Timespinner wheel. We're finally going to be able to stop time.
Up in the fire lock items.
So that is gas mask value, in case you were wondering.
Yep, this area up here you have to burn the vines to get to. Technically, you could have come here before killing the maw and not needed the gas mask, but not many people do that. Because it's kind of a waste, because you'd have to come back because there are stuff that only show up after you kill the maw up there. So you'd be, double dipping.
And sometimes you're not thinking and you kill them all way too early, and there's a bunch of required things that require the gas mask.
Who does that, though?
Yeah, and Eryn is unfortunately doing a bunch of stuff that Mark has already done, so Mark does have a pretty commanding lead here.
Trying out the more verticality. Empress Robe's nice. That's a late game equipment.
Yeah, he's already got an Eternal Coat, though.
Yeah. Probably just forgot.
Yep.
Like I did. Eryn, buy warp shards.
There it is.
Yes!
Buying warp shards. I'm pretty sure I saw her go to the item menu and realize that she didn't have warp shards.
She got them now. Oh, nope. Going back to Zarian?
I think he's going to Zarian Caves to find the D card.
Yep, there we go.
Here we go. This is the highest level area in the game.
Oh, and it has poison.
And the thing about poison in this game is it does a percentage of your health regardless of what level you are. So you are always taking pretty much the same percentage of your health from the poison if you let it kind of run its course. There are antidotes, and funnily enough, the things that poison you have a chance to drop antidotes. So sometimes it doesn't really hurt. Sometimes you just realize that you're wearing the Shadow Seal, and being poisoned actually helps you do more damage.
There's also one equipment that prevents poison, the pendulum.
I didn't see either of them pick one up.
Nope. Pretty underwhelming item in main game, but kind of a lifesaver sometimes in the randomizer.
Oh, absolutely. If you have to do these caves early that Mark is in, the pendulum, I almost can consider it a progression item.
Yeah. Doing this area can get rough.
All right.
Oh, there it is.
There's the D key card in Zarian Caves. He's gonna
Abandon?
keep going in
Yeah.
Zarian caves, it looks like, because he doesn't want to have to do that walking that he just did just to get to that treasure chest again, only to find that there are more pieces of the time spinner in these caves.
There's that warp at the end that we mentioned. Aaron's got the time spinner wheel.
And there's the wheel.
Which is, I think, a good call is to go to that warp and then dip out.
Because you don't actually want to fight the final boss of this dungeon.
No. We saw it. Neo did it very... and we were very happy that we were able to see Zarian in your run, but most randomized runners are just gonna not go to Zarian. Even if they have to go in Zarian caves, it's like, is there anything else that I can do?
Yeah,
anything
it's just a lot
else.
of effort for one item.
Mm-hmm. Zarian is real tough. He causes poison. He summons little worms. He's got a lot of hard-to-dodge attacks. Very late-game guy. And, yeah. No, don't do it.
So yeah, we'll see Mark get all the way to the portal right before the boss here, and then he'll nope out. Now that he has the D card, he's got... yeah, they have the B card, so he's got the kind of like the penultimate area available to him.
Mm-hmm. He's got the tablet for downloads, so he's going to go for the lab as soon as he can. The lab has a whole bunch of downloadable documents, where there's going to be a whole bunch of checks. There's also a whole bunch of checks normally in chests, and it's also you have to go there anyway.
So this will be interesting. If the check that Aaron is doing right now has a piece of the time spinner...
Yeah.
Well, she can't do it right now,
No.
but it'll be
no,
interesting.
She can.
Oh, she has time stop.
She's
so
got time
she can.
stop. She just has to time it right and hope
there
that,
it is.
Yep, hope that Mayef does not kill that little guy.
There are actually 2 checks here. It'll be interesting to see if Aaron does both of them.
If she can do the struggle juggle.
Well, she's already got chaos, and chaos is the status effect that makes it
She's
so...
gonna try it, but she doesn't...
She's gonna run out of sand real quick because of the chaos.
Chaos, yep. She's
still gonna have chaos every time she gets hit. We'll see if she has a chaos. She should have a chaos rose that you pick up on your way to the twins.
I don't think she remembers.
I don't think she remembers either.
And there was one that dropped.
It just dropped one.
Oh.
Oh, well, I think she's going to give up on it. Unfortunately, the one check that she did check there did not have a piece of the time spinner.
Yeah. We got Mark heading into Vardigray Metropolis. Bird statue would have been helpful for Erin. That was what she was looking for in the menu.
Yep.
Because that prevents chaos. Chaos is basically poison for your sand, and sand is what you need to time stop. And we called what Erin was trying to do there and then abandoned struggle juggle. Because you gotta juggle that big guy to get up to a little room above him. But he causes chaos, and you kind of need time stop to do that. So, yeah.
Yep, you just have to jump up, make the guy follow you up, stop time, jump on his head, jump up, unstop time, let him follow you. And you keep doing that until you're high enough to get the item that's up there. And there's 2 struggle juggles in this.
That was the easier one.
And they're both in that tower area. So if either of those have a time spinner piece, we're probably going to hear about it.
Yep.
Or you generated the seed. You're going to hear about it.
Yes, I'm going to hear about it. I'm okay being a hate sink for this. I wonder if she's going to try struggle juggle number 2. It's much harder. Nope.
She's probably going to go up and get that one treasure chest like Mark did.
But this big guy up here at the top is the other... Oh, she's going to try.
She's going to try it. Oh, no, she's just jumping over him.
No.
Oh. She's going to run out of sand real quick. Yeah.
Yeah. One try.
That's the harder one because it narrows as it goes up. So you have to actually bait him not only upward, but towards the middle.
And also it's taller. The good news is that only your head has to be touching the chest up there to open it. You don't actually have to land on the little platform. And for those of you trying along at home, the idea is to try and unstop time while you are in the air and behind him. So he's facing to the left, you want to be to the right of him. and let yourself be in the air at that point, unstop time, restop time, get back on his head.
Yeah,
Just
the
keep
reason
doing
being that is if you're in front of him, he'll have a chance to attack you, and also he'll most likely kind of go sine wave motion towards you in a downward motion. But if you're behind him, he'll turn around, and he always goes up when he starts moving towards you.
Mm-hmm. Mark is in the lab, taking a peek at the free item to look at. That has a mini boss you have to fight to get that item, but luckily you can look at it through the lasers.
It was not of consequence.
Mm-hmm.
So we will not be seeing that boss today.
Looks like Mark is going to climb up here and get lots of garbage on his head. There we go.
Oh, and now he has trapped himself.
Got the Eternal Crown, but the Empire Crown is better. It's got better damage.
And he's just going to do some cliffhanging maneuvers. There you go. Now you're free.
Light Wall is very unforgiving of when you slightly misplace it.
Yeah,
It's
Aaron
there
making quick work of
forever.
Alana there.
Yep. He does not have Light Wall, but
She'll get light wall if she goes to tablet checks.
yeah. Imagine if it's above Alana.
Oh, oof. I mean, why not both?
Yeah. This is a rough seed, man.
Yeah.
We're at 48 minutes? 49 minutes?
49 minutes.
Oof. Usually,
so-
nicer seed. Oh, nope. Nicer seeds would be about 45 to maybe 50 minutes where you're finishing the seed. Neither of our players are anywhere near done. Oh, that was real cool.
Oh!
No!
Oh no! And he falls all the way down. He's gonna try and light wall up there.
You
He's gonna
can't
need
go that
one
way.
more.
That was so cool, and then it was so not.
Yeah, it was almost. He almost saved it.
Mm-hmm.
That is the actual vanilla way you are supposed to do that room.
Mm-hmm.
But he did it in like a really hard to do, cool looking way.
Yeah. In the prototype of this game that Bodhi made when we were in college, that room actually existed in that prototype, but there was
Spider hell.
Oh no, Spider Hell! Really? This is one of the nastier places.
Yep. So those spiders, you can't deboost past them. You cannot take damage and just use your invincibility to just walk through those lasers. So you kind of just have to kill them. Luckily, he has Radiant Orb, which makes this a little bit easier than it would be. Sometimes it requires a little bit more finesse. And
He
there's
also-
Aaron's light wall.
Oh
My goodness.
Worth it.
The Celestial Sash. He now can fly.
The only downside to coming here now is that you can't warp back out. He has to go back through Spider Hell. Because when you're going through the lab and you turn off the power, it invalidates your last warp because it was supposed to force you through the lab again. But even then, worth it.
Worth it. Yeah, no, he's not complaining right now.
But anyway, what I was saying earlier is that Rock Folly Room was in the prototype, but there was no ceiling. And you could just sort of Mario 1, Super Mario Brothers, across the top of it. And Bodhi got mad at me a little bit.
Hey, that's what friends are for, breaking their game.
He also got mad when I got Varndagroth stuck on a platform and he couldn't hit me.
We might see Varndagroth this seed.
Might. Ah, Bodhi. No warp rooms for us.
Yeah, Mark's still looking for the spindle and the final gear.
Star of Latium is real good. Latium? I don't know. Fantasy words.
I think you get to decide how it's pronounced.
Sure, Bodhi
Like
can't
you,
correct
the
me.
player.
Yeah, however you wish to pronounce it. That one's real good if you didn't already have Shadow Seal. It gives
Yep.
you a third orb.
Right. More specifically, it gives you an ability to use the first orb twice.
Yeah. Gotta use the phlegm with the...
Lachium.
Got a hairball. here we have Genza. Genza is weak to fire. So, Jin Inferno.
Yep, just keep casting the most powerful spell in the game. He's also weak to Sharp, so he's switched to Eye Orb here, away from Empire Orb.
Eye Orb's real good for this.
Eye Orb is really great, especially if you kind of catch him on the end of the Eye Orb's arc.
Like Mark was doing. Erin finally got the D card.
Erin got the B card, so she's kind of, after she beats the Maw...
She's going through Zarian Caves, so she's doing the same haul Mark did to finish out the caves. Hopefully she doesn't die.
That would be bad if she died, but she has an antidote, she has biscuits, probably a couple high potions even.
So that area where Genza was is the end game location. Ooh, interesting.
Ooh, you don't want to see elevator keycard.
Interesting. Oh.
Technically, they had access to most of the tower, Mark did, because he has the C card, but the elevator key card does give you access to like a couple of places you can't get to any other way, and they're kind of just one-off checks. There's one that's a little bit more valuable, but it's just not what you want to see when you're looking, when you're trying to get into go mode, when you're desperately trying to get into go mode.
Look at this smattering of locations to go to.
Yeah, it's
like,
just not
where
great.
would you go?
You gotta
abandon
wonder
this tower? What do you do?
You gotta wonder if Mark. I've seen him when he runs this game off out of competition. Yeah, he'll check those first couple checks in the tower that he was just in, and then he'll dip. He won't even finish the other ones that are in there that you don't have to fight the boss for.
Which fair.
I mean, nobody really wants to do that tower. You do it because you kind of have to, because after you beat that Genza boss, like you said, it's like the final area of the game, and if you beat that boss and you're not in go mode, well, you're not happy.
No, you want to have everything by the time you get there, and never happens.
In an ideal seed, you never want to set foot in that tower.
It's also late game, so stuff really hurts. It's also got a lot of verticality in it, so if you don't have the sash, it's really annoying. Luckily, Mark does have the sash.
And Erin has blocked herself. Oh. Just walking off screen and walking back just to...
Yeah.
So yeah, it looks like... Yeah, she's just going to go right to the Zarian portal like Mark did. Portal out. It'll be interesting to see where she goes after she leaves. Because Mark did kind of do other things before going to the endgame area. And there's the C card.
Yeah. So she's
I
got
didn't
all
remember
the
where
key
the
cards.
C card was. I just remembered that Mark had it.
Yep, all down here.
Mikey, a real showcase of the game today. What is it?
Oh, Erin. Nope. Okay.
Oh, don't do it, Erin.
She heard us that time.
Maybe she was thinking about it, though. She was like, well...
Well, it's like, what are the chances that someone actually did this?
If she can get the Jin Inferno... Oh, there's Gear 3.
Oh...
Does Mark have the spindle? I don't think he does. No,
he doesn't.
If he had the spindle, he would be running right to the end game, but he doesn't. So it's that big. Where is the spindle?
Where is that one last piece? One piece.
Yeah. You know, it's really just a good way to showcase the game is to have a randomizer race that just 100% map completions it.
Hi, Thread Hunt. Erin's going for the lab. She's gonna do power.
She's going to realize she does not have the key card and not do tower, or
no,
she's gonna
do the tower anyway. You can do most of the tower. You got all the key cards.
Yeah, she has the C card. Like I said, like you can technically get to everything, but what?
Barndagroth, Spider Hell, and the download.
Yeah. So
and one thing on the left.
Yeah. But it means that Erin will probably know if there's anything on the left side of the tower before Mark does. Mark did just pick up Bombardment, which is... I know I'd been saying Jin Inferno is the most powerful spell in the game, but if you're skilled enough and you're dexterous enough, Bombardment will do more damage per cast.
Okay, she realized.
Yep,
I always yell at her to go up here first, and she never remembers. It's a dead end up here. You gotta go up first.
And it's just a dusk ring.
Bleh.
So I'm not saying there's nothing on the left side. It's just very unlikely that there's anything on the left side.
There's only that one last check that you need the elevator key card for on the left. So
Yes.
looks like tower's a bust.
Yep. Oculus Ring is not helpful in this mode, so unfortunately now Erin will be going and doing more of stuff that Mark has just finished doing, and we already know does not pay off, unless you like bombardment.
She also did not get the warp on the right side of tower before doing tower.
Oh.
So if she warps back out, she has to do the run from the library again.
Did you see what Varnagrath's chest was?
Nope.
I missed it because
Spindle! Vanilla Spindle!
it was Vanilla Spindle.
Oh!
Unbelievable. Well, that was Varnagrath. It was there and gone in an instant because
Second boss.
Because it's the second boss in the game, yeah. I had to think for a second. So yeah, so Mark is now in go mode, an hour in.
Ooh. Man.
He's going to go grab a save, and he's going to select the right of these two portals. There are two different ways you can choose
timeline
here. But this one is weak to Empire Orb, so if you have Empire Orb...
Technically, this is the harder boss, because he's got more hit points. But he's also weak to punch, so you just do that. Also, it's the right choice.
Yes, it's in
Lore
lore the correct choice. Looks like Mark is using the Star of Lashiam here. Not wanting to risk it with the headbutt strats and the Shadow Seal.
Because he is a little low on the levels, so this guy's kind of hitting them pretty hard, but then we broke the timeline.
That's what you want when you have the Shadow Seal. You want to take as much damage as possible.
Yeah, but then you can die quickly, too.
You only need 1 HP, Llama.
Get good, right?
It's like Sonic. You only need 1 ring. You only need 1 HP.
So here we are, and the broken timeline. This is the third area, and we're going to go punch God in the face. Quite literally, because we have Empire Orb.
So we didn't get to see Zarian in this one, but we did get to see Varnagrath, which is the other boss that nobody really wants to fight. There's usually a save scum strat that people use because, yeah, you just don't want to fight it. It's another one of those things, it's like a lot of effort for one item, but the good news is, Varnagrath, you can see what the item is before you fight him.
So you can do save scum on your way out. T-Bass does have a point. You can technically live with 0 HP if you time it right. It's not supposed to happen, but it can happen. We did not get to see Lightwall
skip
show off, because you have Sash already.
Yep. They could have done it anyway.
It wasn't a rounding error, it was just you warped right when you got 0 HP and it just kind of never killed you. I'm sure there's a clip of it somewhere.
So, here comes the final boss.
Yeah.
Mark's setting himself up for it. He's going Jin Inferno because
He's weak to fire.
This big lion made of sand is weak to fire.
I think the reasoning was like you melt sand to make glass or something? I don't know. It's also weak to ice and dark. But Jin Inferno being the best spell, also being a fire temperature, fire type.
And also being glitched a little bit.
Losing the glitch a little. Keep it going.
He's got it. He's got it.
Oh.
Thematic appropriateness distracted him.
Go.
Oh, he got him before the next phase anyway.
Yep.
So, oh, just kidding. This is the true final boss.
Oh.
Oh, that guy looks spooky.
His name is Nightmare. I
If
originally...
you've ever played an RPG, you know this guy's weak to radiant damage.
Yep.
Just look at him.
This was originally the final boss of Mayef's game, and I originally designed him to be similar to a horse skeleton, because horse skeletons was in a spooky story that scared me at one point when I was a child.
Mark's gonna need... Yeah.
Yep.
I think Mark is about to take double damage from that.
Yep. Okay. He's fine. But then Bodhi took my rough pixel art and made it really cool. But that's why it kind of looks like a horse skeleton.
And that's it for Mark.
That's it. Let's get exclamation points in chat because in this game, the first thing Linnea says after punching God is exclamation point. GG.
GG.
Over an hour.
Oh, geez. That's our second seed that went over an hour today.
Oof. That was a good game. That was some good routing. They all made some real good decisions. I'm going to switch over to Aaron so we have some more interesting audio.
Yeah. Because Mark's just leaving this screen up with the exclamation point as is good and right.
Yes, but all it has is woo noises. Looks like Aaron's stream is perking a little bit. Oh no.
Oh, geez.
Aaron's offline.
Oh, Aaron forfeited.
Ah. Well, that's it.
Yeah, that'll be it.
So, let's see if we can get how do we get people in for talking?
I think we invite them, like somebody invites them to this Discord room.
We want to talk. We got stuff to talk about. Nope, come on. Looks like we're going to get interviews as soon as people can join us. I know Mark wandered off. There he is. He is back. And we are waiting for...
There will be a quick sound check, and then he will join us.
Yep. Just gotta waste a little more
Vamp.
time.
Just vamp. Vamp
Yep.
llama.
Yeah,
oh, hey, there he is.
Hello.
There he is.
Hi, Mark.
Man,
Hey.
that was a lot.
That was a lot.
That was
Yeah,
a
we
lot
had that
of-
whole conversation about Gun Orb, and I guess we
I
were
was just
cursing
gonna say.
us.
We had the whole conversation about Gun Orb, and then, we jinxed it.
Yep. That was a lot of rough, no verticality at all for so long.
So long.
So many abandoned checks in Ilana's tower. Good thing nothing important was there.
Yeah, fortunate. I'm assuming Erin got the hairpin earlier than I did.
Yes,
And
she
Mhm.
did.
do
You
the
went right, you went left.
Incredibly weird choice I made that I don't know if it even paid off. Empire Orb was nice, though.
Yeah, you got Empire Orb. She got the pin, but you got the Empire Orb, which obviously let you kind of cruise a lot easier through a lot of the things that Aaron was hanging out on Gun Orb for a very, very long time.
Oh no, yeah.
She got Eye Orb, but she had to do Golden Idol with Eye Orb, which was not happening.
That's not ideal, no.
Oh,
I forget, where was Eye Orb? I remember it was
was
somewhere...
in the loop.
The basement loop.
Oh,
Yeah.
next to Succubus Hairpin.
It was real close to Succubus
More or
Hairpin.
less,
I think it
yeah.
was the
So that's
chest
good at
after
least. She
Succubus
got
Hairpin.
a real orb down there.
Yep. And I think that's really what dragged you ahead, despite not getting the hairpin as early as Aaron, is that Empire Orb is just broken. Just super broke.
Yeah, if you get it early, it's a lot of damage. Especially when Aaron was stuck on Gun Orb for so long. Like, it was getting very unfortunate.
Oh yeah, the swing from between Gun Orb and Empire is a lot.
Yes, it is. So, just in general, how about that spindle?
Yeah. And that last gear was sure in a place too.
Yeah, it was a lot. And when you got that elevator key card, Llama and I both immediately were like, "Oh,"
Ooh.
because we were like, "Well,
Vanilla
Yeah.
Spindle, though. That's real cool.
vanilla spindle."
Yep.
And that
So
was
were
a
you
C
like,
that was in
oh
Zeri- that was a
no,
C
now
card
he's
that
gonna
was
go
in
the
Zerian
wrong
Cave.
way and waste time?
No, it was just, that tower is... No one wants to do the tower.
Nope.
It's a lot.
Yeah. I guess that is. I mean, because was the D and the D and the C card were both in Zarian caves, I
Yep.
believe.
Yep. They were.
So D obviously required, and then C required because you needed it to get the spindle. So that's just it was a lot.
Mm. And it took 30 minutes to find the first time spinner piece?
Yeah. 31 minutes until the first time spinner piece was found. And when you found it, I was like, wait, is that the first one?
As I
Real
recall, like Sash was also. Oh, Sash was in Spider Hell.
Yes,
Mhm.
Sash was in
Right.
Spider Hell.
Definitely worth the effort.
Yeah, it was. It paid off.
We were talking about how nasty that particular spider hell is because you can't warp out, but then you got Celestial Sash, and you're like, oh, well, yeah.
I mean, I just hate to. I hate to leave it alone. I hate to backtrack to it. Like, so usually if I'm there and I can do it, especially I had Radiant,
Mm-hmm.
so like something that can at least get through them in a not miserable fashion.
Yeah, you had
Yeah,
Radiant
just-
and Star of Latium, I believe, at the time. And
Yeah, although I forgot to equip the star
Yeah.
on that slot.
yeah, because I believe 3 shots was doing it, which is a good amount. Honestly, it's easy to just get 3 hits in.
I think Erin has vanished on us. Unfortunately, we won't be able to interview her. She ran off too quickly for us to start talking about getting her in here for interviewing. But that was a fun commentation. There was a lot going on there.
Yeah, it was fun to watch.
There was highs and lows and just all over the place. It was a good showcase of this randomizer because you covered a lot of bases, and I didn't break the stream this time.
Correct.
Oh,
Woo!
GG.
Yes, 50% good.
And yeah, I expect that our routes diverged a lot, which I hope made for an exciting viewing experience for everyone.
Yep, it was pretty cool.
It was. Yeah, when Aaron went right into the castle, because you briefly went right into the castle, and then you got to the teleporter, and then we're like, nope, I'm going left now. And then Aaron kept going right. That was like the first moment where it kind of diverged.
Yeah, I had this weird idea that I could like lower the drawbridge, grab the thing there, and then turn around and go left. And that might actually save me time on my usual routing, just because if I was going to take the screen transition to bring the drawbridge back, then I might as well just keep going that way.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Weird micro optimization, but I don't know.
Too bad there was nothing under there.
Yeah, no, but but any one check doesn't have anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you check that bridge, and I'm assuming if it has vertical, you're like, oh, well, never mind. Maybe I do the castle. But
Oh, sure. If I find vertical, then things change. I got all the way to the left, and I thought, I was right up among the vines and thinking, did I really decide to come up here with no double jump? That was. I have regrets. I have
It worked
serious
out.
regrets, but and that's why I bailed on Maw Cave and went back to Castle because I knew that was going to be miserable with no vertical or not productive. Like orphan half the checks, no
Yeah.
good.
not being able to get those 4 in the jackpot, and the jackpot room really had what it was like 2 aura ups, a sand up, and a health up this time.
Something like that. It
It's
was
still
all ups.
it's still 4 chests that you don't want to just leave sitting there.
Right. Exactly.
Like abandoning 1 check here and there is like okay, but that one room has 4 treasure chests in it.
It's Schrodinger's jackpot room.
Yeah,
you don't know
but
until you get there.
yeah, and you don't want to plan on abandoning it because it's quite a trip back even from the nearest teleporter without Sash. Well, I guess unless you have Sash. Even still.
Still pretty rough.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a lot of stuff. I was not happy with all the stuff I was leaving behind up in the towers.
Yeah, we comment on how that probably really hurt you personally.
Yeah,
I was crying inside. I'm thinking, was there another route where I had vertical before I got here and
No.
wasn't sad.
Well, Aaron did go up there with the wheel,
Oh, well, that's better and worse.
and
Mhm.
she didn't get the struggle juggle, but she did check the one chest before the little easier struggle juggle.
The one on
And
the
I
right.
said to Llama, I was like, what if this is a piece of the time spinner?
Oh,
That
yeah,
would have been.
if that were important, that would be everything.
Yeah. But it wasn't, and Struggle Juggle just did not happen because it was just not happening.
It's a struggle.
Yeah, and it's a juggle.
Yeah, and yeah, we didn't have much time at that point.
Mm-mm.
Like, it's annoying even in the best of circumstances, and that was not going to be the best of circumstances. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't envy her having to
She
even
tried.
think
She
about
made
that.
a good effort
Good.
and then abandoned it because it was race.
Yeah, I mean, ugh. No happy choice when that happens.
Nope. Well, I think
Well, you got any closing thoughts about this seed?
Gun orb is not
Gun
fun.
orb.
Gun Orb! How about that Gorb there? Hey boy.
All right. Well, thanks, Aaron and Mark, for
Yes.
racing. Congratulations, Mark, on the win.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I guess it's Diesel Photos. I forget what the second word in his name was for the
Pilot.
restream. What
Diesel
Diesel?
Pilot.
What Pilot? I knew it was P and had T and O in there somewhere. Diesel Pilot for the restream. Much
Mhm.
appreciated. Thanks to SpeedGaming for hosting us. This has been really fun.
Mhm.
And keep an eye out for more Time Spinner on the schedule later this week.
Yep. See y'all later.
Have a wonderful
guys.
evening.